alongside both her and the spirit form of Krav as we sought to sort of not necessarily kill them, but outlast them in a game of sort of waiting for the mountain to come down and making sure that we could escape. Literally everyone got the shit knocked out of them, and we barely survived, but we all got through the door, and now we're here.
All right.
If I missed anything, DM, let me know, but those are just some of the broad strokes from a guy who took almost literally 5 words of notes last session.
Good job, honey.
I would say that Crown Mirai opened up that wall to let us through, and then as it was coming down, he threw the rocks down in front of himself while he stayed in the room. He stayed behind in the room as everything crashed to the ground. And then
I remember.
That's quite literally where we left off. It's just like boom, end scene.
Yeah. Awesome. And apologies, I just realized, man, there's so many buttons for me to press, gang. So we actually, I apologize, Matt. We actually started the stream halfway through your conversation of what was going on with that. So I apologize.
That's cool. That's fine.
So we'll do this. Hey, everybody, welcome to It's a Long Story, a thrice weekly campaign with a bunch of people. This group, we're going on Tuesday. This is New Moon. Everybody say hi, Moon.
Hi, Moon.
And with further ado, here's where we left off. Okay, there was half of it, and now we're starting. Jumping.
You missed the part with the elevator. There was an elevator part. That was.
There was an elevator part. Yeah. It did get most of it, so we were okay there. Apologies.
The story had its ups and downs at that point, but.
Oh my Lanta!
Wow.
Man.
How much HP does Panthera have?
That point of inspiration.
Negative 100.
That's psychic damage right there.
I'm gonna go ahead and start casting Spare the Dying on myself right now.
Okay, so jeez. Okay.
Oh, we also left out that Chelsea definitely attacked me. Out of malice, and almost killed me. But we're fine now. Now she's got 1 HP left, so karma's a bitch.
I do.
Well, yeah, I laid into Panthera too, on purpose.
Yeah.
I blinded half the party, so good time.
I didn't do it on purpose. I was just trying.
I will also say I have no spells left. I've got nothing.
I have no slots. I have 3 health points left.
I don't got healing light. I don't have second wind. I don't have anything.
You're making me feel guilty because I have most of my hit points. Because everybody kept moving.
But how many spell slots do you have left?
All of them.
All of them. Well, brag.
We'll find some vines that hit, so you Slag Tank can hit along the way.
Cool. There we go. There's sound. Apologies, gang. It looks like today is going to be interesting on the technical stuff. But who knows? Maybe it's the last of it. But either way, so jumping back into it. So this is coming right from. We're picking up right from the as the rock, as this large rock formation. You see Krav Mirai just kind of move in place in front of himself, blocking it from view, and also taking out any source of light from where you are at right now. At this moment, as you're catching your breath, those of you that have dark vision can probably see about. You can see your party. You can kind of see the kind of outline of them, but the lack of light in here is a darkness that some of you have probably really never experienced before, as you are at least hundreds of feet below the surface. All right, what would you like to do?
Green will probably start off and just touch his armor, like his and cast with whatever magic he has left light on the armor to give some light to the space.
Cool. Let's do this. Let's go around and say, as Green casts light as the kind of introduction to the camera, what does the light show on everyone? So let's start with Jack. So the light kind of just gleams to the side of Jack's face and body. And what do we see with Jack?
A look of concern on his face, looking back to where they were. He seems to be concerned about something left behind.
As the camera kind of pans, imagining you guys kind of up against the wall, all kind of leaning to one side. Ianthe, what do we see when the light kind of gleams off you?
Ianthe is scratched and bruised and bleeding, and is very, very beat up, and is probably looking like she's really concentrating on staying upright, and maybe a little bit frantically looking for the way out. This isn't fun anymore.
I love that. So there's a slight look of panic.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Slagtan, I imagine you're right next to Ianthe in this.
Yeah, Slagtan right now, he's probably coming out. First thing, he's coming down because he's been raging. So he's probably kind of getting better at it, coming to his senses. And if it's absolute dark going in there before Green even turns the light out, he's been feeling walls, trying to get away from that hole that Krad Marai made. Trying to get as far away from that room as he can.
Okay. I think as the camera, what's the term I'm looking for? Is the
Pans.
What?
Like where it pans over.
It pans. But I was thinking about the idea of like a lineup, like a police lineup, is how I kind of picture you guys in the scene.
Yeah.
And going for down to Slagtan to see this kind of viewpoint, and then going up to Titian. What do we see on Titian?
I think Titian is usually quite a bit taller than Slagtan. I think Titian is, fairly tall by D&D standards in some ways, but I think at this moment you sort of see him hunched over. I think you see that he still has probably well, I'm not going to say that, but what you do see is that he has large holes in his thighs where he's sort of bleeding, and where the vines embedded themselves. I think you see he's absolutely just covered in just viscera and trash, and if you remember, he was even stabbed by a ghost dwarf in the city, so he's got he's holding himself. I think he's still coming off of some of a sort of a high from the adrenaline that was running in that last fight to sort of carry it through. But now that there's some semblance of calm, and that there's now just a moment of being in the darkness with some thoughts, he's starting to feel it. And I think because of that, the camera doesn't have to pin up nearly as much to meet his face, as he's sort of hunched over in this moment. Just trying to hold it all together.
Cool. Is Panthera still maintaining direwolf form here?
She is going to for as long as she can, which is currently 2 hours, I think. So okay. She's gonna, but she's the direwolf is panting heavily and is just it's got all sorts of cuts on him. And just looks beat to shit, and is kind of like Ianthe, looking to get out of this place as quickly as possible because it's not. Panthera doesn't want to be here because there's nothing. There's nothing natural about this. she needs to see the sun. She needs to get out where she can run free for for want of a better term. She needs to be on the surface. That's where she feels most comfortable. She does not feel comfortable down here, so she's going to stay in her wolf form for a little bit, just to
Cool.
Kind of gather her thoughts.
Okay. And as I imagine the way that we're kind of viewing this scene is the armor that you touch is glowing very brightly against like all the faces, and as it kind of like pans to green, I imagine the light kind of just you control yourself to being able to kind of like dim it down to a level that is not going to that is not going to drive anyone nuts. Yeah, what do we see on green?
I mean, his arm definitely, kind of like Titian, has a hole in it from being stabbed through on the vines. I also imagine that when he was fighting alongside Slagtan and he was grappled by the creature and held, that it was more, not like, oh, it grabbed his ankle, but it like grabbed, he was close, so it like grabbed him by the neck almost, and just like vines, so his neck is probably just all red. And like vine marks across it. He's looks exhausted. He's not just like physically tired, but like tapped. He's got like no magic left to him, so he's tapped and bloodied and tired.
Okay. I think in this moment, as you were saying, that you're even feeling like an arcane sort of amount, like exhaustion. You see the light like kind of like flicker for a second, just in like kind of like maintaining a level of concentration, just kind of like it gets a little nuts. And you see along the wall, and you guys have spent at least a full day's time of seeing these. You see like kind of closer to like the corners of the wall, you still see a black vine kind of connected to the corner of the wall there. You all see this.
Does it look alive, or does it look just like it's
If you want to inspect it, you can.
I mean, that'd be like a 6, so.
Oh, I was saying like if you want to just go up and inspect it, like meaning like you literally, yeah.
He'd probably Greed will probably walk up and look at it.
I will go with him.
Okay. Looking at it, you see it's never looked healthy to begin with, so I'd say, yeah. I mean, for the sake of brevity in this, it's almost impossible to tell just by looking at it. So I will save you the fear of touching it. You do kind of outstretch your hand towards it, and right before you're able to actually touch it, you see it kind of like a piece of it just start to kind of crumple, break off, fall to the ground, and just fall and dash. You see pieces like further down, like just start to do that as it seems to like start to disconnect itself from the wall. Not completely, as you know, dead vines will still in some places hold their place just from where they're connected, but you get the feeling that you did it.
I'll turn to the group. We probably need to get moving. I don't know how many of these vines are left to hold this mountain up. and we're stuck way too far down below. Can everybody move?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm good to hobble out of here.
I will do my best to help Tishian walk because I could probably tell he looks not so good.
Okay. Cool. I think Ianthe probably is looking really rough too.
Yeah,
I'm very hurt.
I'm
My cousin.
I'm nudging Ianthe, and trying to get her to get on my back.
Can you carry me?
I mean,
He's a large creature.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
a very
you can carry me.
It looks to be a direwolf that would be big enough to be able to most likely carry you, not in a I mean, you'll feel the weight from it, right?
yeah. But I think I can. I think I can. You don't weigh
If
a
you
whole
can, I
lot.
will. Yes. No, I'm not, I don't know. Person, average sized.
Okay. Well, I will carry you as far as I can for the next hour and 50 minutes, however long I have left in my direwolf form. Hopefully, we can get out of here by then.
So, as you all are kind of like holding each other up, trying to limp down, Green, I imagine that you're in front, or at least close to the front with the light cantrip running.
Yeah.
And you see there is, I think the only person that may have the most understanding of like any sort of underground stuff would be Slagtan. So Slagtan, go ahead and roll me a survival check.
$16.
16. Yeah, with the 16, I kind of picture this as like you've at least known of a few tribes. Most likely, a few of them spend a lot of their times underground. That'll end up like keeping their homes there. With a 16, you see that this is recalling back to moments before, as you had seen Krod Mariah just blast a hole in the wall. You see the areas of like, it's not a perfect circle or anything, and you see that like most of the areas of how it like is broken apart, it's obvious to you that this is not a like naturally made tunnel in any respect. With the 16, you actually think that this is most likely the resulting blast. Like this is the effects of it still traveling. You don't know how far that's going to go.
Well, we cannot go back. What's up? How high is up?
I'd say up is probably up maybe 10 feet high. It's a pretty massive hole he made, so I'd say it's. I think all in all, I'd say yeah, it's 15 by 15. I would say.
So we have some tunnel, though. Okay.
You're not sure for how long.
Right. Anything marking-wise? Anything?
With the 16, that tells you that this tunnel was just made seconds
That's
ago.
what I thought. I was just.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, all we can do is go with tunnel, unless we want to clear our way back.
I'd rather not go back that way.
So you guys continue down the path.
I mean, tunnel sounds good. I mean, yeah, let's take. Yay,
yeah.
tunnel! Yay, woo, tunnel!
As you move down, I would like Panthera to roll me a d6, please.
Okay.
And as you are traveling down this tunnel, assuming the concept of a range blast means that it's going to fizzle out somewhere, you are walking for probably about 30 minutes when you notice that the cave itself does seem to get smaller and smaller.
Okay. I got a 2 on my d6, if that makes a.
Yep.
Okay. Do I sense that I'm not going to be able to maintain wolf form and make it through the shrinking tunnel, or is it just going to be a tight squeeze? Or
you're about 30 minutes in. You assume that really the assumption is there's going to be a wall. There's going to be a dead end.
okay. Okay, that's not gonna. Have we come across any side passages that have been along this?
So, like I said, this tunnel was made by the blast. So
okay.
Even but not to say that couldn't happen. So no would be the answer.
Okay, cool. Damn. Oh, shit. I'm gonna. I'm gonna try to go a little further down, just by myself, just to make sure that the tunnel does end, or see if there's anything else down here where we might be able to.
Are you running ahead of the group then?
I'm going to motion to Auntie to get off my back for a minute.
I'll get her off his back.
And then I'm going to just scout ahead a little bit. I'm not going too far from the group, but I'm just going to see.
What's a little bit? Give me a
30 feet. 30 feet.
You got it.
Okay.
So
random point of order. If Ianthe's been sitting on, I guess it's only been 30 minutes. Never mind. I was gonna see if Ianthe took a short rest because she's not walking, but it's only been 30 minutes. Never mind.
Yeah, it's only been 30 minutes.
Nah, we're fine.
Running 30 feet ahead. Actually, one small thing here, not to be a nudge. I don't believe direwolves have dark vision.
They do.
Yeah,
not.
and I only go. My light only goes 20 feet ahead.
Yep.
Well, I do.
I could send a dancing light. I could send a dancing light with you.
Okay.
Okay.
That goes 120 feet.
And I do have advantage on wisdom perception checks based on sight and smell, or hearing and smell.
Hearing and smell, yeah.
Yeah, hearing.
And we'll say go ahead and roll that now.
Okay. Say
that again. You cut out.
24.
24. With a 24, we'll say that kind of the light being sent out ahead of you, you're looking along the walls and you can see, in your direwolf form, right? Which I think is there yeah, you notice the walls are kind of coming closer and closer in on the sides as you continue on.
Okay.
You see after about, say, about 100 feet of movement. So after about maybe 20 seconds or so, you see that there does look like there is a solid wall. Not in a like. It's just like an indentation, like a concave. Like nothing about it actually states that it's like the end of the spell had hit something. It just died out.
Okay.
So you see the dead end. With a 24, I assume once you see it, you're getting closer.
Yeah. I'm sniffing around. I might paw the end just to see if it feels like it might be loose, and I could possibly dig through and maybe get a little further. Maybe there's a tunnel on the other side, not too far away. I don't know, but I'm kind of like listening, and sniffing around.
Cool.
Seeing if there's another place that we can get out of here.
With a 24, as you kind of like near closer to where this, it becomes kind of more of even more of a rocky terrain as the spell must have died right here. You take a second, take a pause, and you smell salt water. It's extremely faint.
Okay. Can I determine which direction it's coming from?
I'm gonna say with a 24 you can't.
Okay. Fair enough. I am going to go back to the group. I am going to come out of direwolf form because I'm going to need to communicate to everybody. Okay. I've gone down. It's a dead end, but I did get a faint whiff of salt water. I couldn't determine which direction it was, if it was on the other side of the wall or it was just very faint. But there is salt water somewhere nearby.
I immediately start looking above us to see if there's any kind of, upward indentation in the ceiling.
Yeah, you don't see anything. You also notice that the ceiling itself has kind of gotten smaller and smaller as well. So,
even like a slight, deep pressure impression above us. My thought is this: that scares me. what he just told me scares the hell out of me. Not for me and Ianthe. We'd be great. The rest of them will drown. And if it does rush in, the arrow will be pushed up, and if there's someplace to create a bubble, I want to put them under where the bubble would be, while she and I can find a way out. So I'm just looking, even like a slight, do you see what I'm saying? Somewhere where the air would go. Is there anything like that? Like a boulder would have fallen down in the explosion, or somewhere where there's something that if this becomes a dangerous situation, I can say go over there to them.
I mean, technically, if you could shape water, could you make a sphere around us? I don't know.
Not that much.
It's also, I think, the fact of it being an action, there's some difficulty there and that stuff. But I like where your head's at. Roll me a because this is just the luck of whether or not there is an area for it. Roll me a d20.
Okay. A 4.
You see that the smoothness of the rock, based on how the blast went, does not really. I'd say you probably see like there's some areas that would be like 2 feet of cover, but
Okay,
not
well,
enough.
2 feet's better than. Well, that's. I mean, if 6 inches might save their lives.
Right.
So
Well,
they probably see me looking around frantically at the ceiling, and they're wondering why. And go ahead. Sorry, Chelsea. Go.
Hold on. There's a huge echo for me. Hold on.
It's just when if you try to talk over Jack, he's got the push.
That's right. Okay. I do have something left that, out of character, it might get a little shenanigansy.
Okay.
But I have a way that we could walk on water, all of us. And if, for example, there's an underground lake or something, it would rush us to the top.
My concern was that if the water bursts through, but we're still trapped in this tunnel, the water will seep its way into the area that we came from. We can't get that way. So if we're stuck in the tunnel, they are done for.
But if I can have them walk on water,
we're far enough underground that it's going to fill this tunnel. If it's a lot. If it's salt water, I don't do. Actually, Joe, do I know any salt? Anything besides the ocean? Do I know any saltwater bodies inland?
In North Imea?
I'm assuming we're still in North Imea, so.
Yes. Hell no would be the answer that comes.
Okay. So then the only place that would be giving off saltwater vibes that would be natural is the ocean.
Right.
And if the ocean breaks its way into this tunnel, you and I will be lonely because we'll be a party of 2.
Yeah, I think point of clarification, I think the issue that Jack is bringing up is the idea of the pressure. There's no way to be like the pressure is going to be pushing against you.
You'll get smashed against walls and such.
Right.
Yeah, right. I can't. Okay, I can't. Yeah, I can't.
Well, and it will also completely fill up the thing. So even if you and I survive the push into the rocks, there will be no air for them to breathe. We are hundreds of feet below the sea level. It's not going to be like, oh, we'll just fill up 5 feet. If something breaks, we're in trouble. Now, granted, it may open up to a beach. That's why he's smelling salt water. But I just want to know where the possibilities of air are above us for the rest of them.
That makes sense.
Although maybe Panthera can turn into some sort of fish, so there might be 3 of us. I don't know what she can do.
I think that was the last wild shape, right?
Yeah, that was my last wild shape. Yep.
Then never mind. It looks like it's just the 2 of us, Andy. So we need to find a way up and out without making water come in.
Okay, I'm gonna do something like any simpleton would do. I'm gonna pull out my telepathy rock.
That's what I was gonna do.
From the Gold People ore.
That's what I was.
I'm gonna put it against my head and think to the queen lady whose name escapes me right now. He's gone. Can you get us out? In thinking.
I was waiting for the moment to do the exact same thing. So.
Slagton, you don't hear any immediate response. I imagine that you guys kind of get closer to the end of this area, right? So closer to that sort of source. Because the reality is, if it was like what Adine was saying, it's not going to matter whether or not you were, way back there or. Yep. So, I think. Yeah, so I think you guys kind of get to the end, and yeah, to be clear, Slagton, you don't hear any response. 5 minutes, 10 minutes pass by.
Okay.
In the meantime, since I'm in my my tabaxi form again, I'm going to give Ianthe a cure wounds. I have 4 for. I have all my first level spells left. I don't know how that happened, but I do. I've used everything else, but so I'm gonna cast cure wounds on you.
Thank you.
And that's just a roll. 10 points of healing.
Wow.
Not bad.
So there is a point here where it feels I think it feels different for other people. You are in an area of total darkness, even with the obviously with the light that Korean has being the only source, and recognizing that if that were to go out, I think there's different levels of, depending on who you are, area of like, okay, let's catch our breath and figure this out. And then there's probably a couple of you that I can think of that are more on the line of like, this could be it.
Mm-hmm.
Like above board, this is where I imagine you guys would take a short rest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we'll say this is kind of the like thinking portion of like, okay, what do we do? What do we do?
So take a short rest, Ian?
Yeah, if you want. Unless you guys immediately are like, I'm going to try this.
I don't have any.
So we'll say, as you guys are doing your short rest, looking around, for the record, Panther, I think as you come out of wolf form,
Yeah.
you're just barely able, like it's even lessened than it was before. No one else can smell it unless anyone has advantage on.
I do.
Okay. So yeah, Slag 10, roll me a perception check.
Natural 20 for a 24.
Okay. Okay.
Nice.
Amazing. Obviously, the 24 is exactly what Panthera got,
Mm-hmm.
but you definitely always have to honor nat 20s. You smell the salt water. Do you think Slagtan's ever been to an ocean? I mean, you've been to a river. Did Chris freeze? I think Chris is frozen.
Uh-oh.
Maybe he's just thinking really long and hard if Saita's never been to the ocean.
So we're waiting for Slagton to come back in. It's funny, that always happens when I like cue one of you. It's funny.
Good news is I have both my wild shapes back
Just look.
after the short rest.
Nice.
Yeah, that's good. So what does everyone else want to do as we're waiting for Slagton to come back?
Anthony, does anybody need more HP?
I'm doing okay. I could probably keep rolling. I'll keep rolling. I'm doing all right.
I think I'm all right. Okay.
I think Green would definitely recast light on the armor, just because that only lasts an hour, so.
I think if we're okay, as we're waiting for Chris, we're all doing a short rest, correct? So we're all sitting around each other. I think as we're in this moment of waiting, I think Titian is seeing what a demon is doing. First off, Titian is absolutely practicing holding his breath for the inevitable like water to rush in. He's like, he's like, if only one of us has to hold our breath, maybe I can do it. And then I can probably make it if I can make it. I can make it. And then I think I think a thought races across Titian's mind, and he has a memory of the sending ring that he has, that he used to contact Panthera before. As he's sort of looking at Panthera, sort of, I imagine sitting in the circle with him, he will take his sending ring off his finger. Of course, he doesn't know it's a sending ring necessarily, and he'll walk over to Panthera and he'll be like, "This helped me. This helped me find you. I don't know how, but it like helped me talk to you, I guess, in a way. I know you're sort of like trying to find your parents or trying to check on them. I figured like maybe you can use this. I mean, give it back to me. Hey, for real though." Give it back to me, but like you can try it one time if you'd like to like try to get a hold of your folks in any way.
What do I do?
What I did is I was just like thinking really hard, and I was like really just like flexing every muscle in my body at the same time while I had it on my hand. And you'll know it's working when it's just sort of like tingling a little bit around your finger.
Okay.
And then as long as it's tingling, you know it's doing its job.
And then I just talk and...
Yeah, you just talk to him. You just like think of the person you want to say hey to, and like I guess it just sort of like it beams right to them.
And it doesn't matter where they are; they'll hear me. Or do I have to? I
don't know. I'm not even like. It kind of worked for you, and I just figured like we're sitting here, so I figured this could be something that you could try. I don't know. I know it kind of bring you some peace. I mean, we're not doing anything but sitting in a dark hole right now, anyway, so might as well.
Okay. I guess I can try it. I'll put the ring on, and I'll tense every muscle in my body, and I'm wait for that tingling feeling if it ever comes. And when I sense the tingling feeling, I'll just talk and I'll say, "Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. I'm in a pretty dark place right now. I'm trying to find you. Where are you? Let me know if you're okay, and I will come for you. You can reply to this message."
And just out of character, it is the sending spell, so it's only like one person, works across multiple planes of existence, I believe, anywhere.
25.
You can only do 25 words, so.
Okay, I think that was about 25 words. I was trying to count mentally, but I don't know. Maybe it was more. But yeah, I'd probably be. I guess if it only works with one person, I'd probably try to send it to my mother.
Okay. As I am honestly, as I'm figuring out what the response would be, Slythan, did you hear?
No, everything crapped out on me.
Yeah, that's all right. Good. So with the nat 20, actually, I don't even think I said it. So with the nat 20, the smell of the salt water, which was the question that I had for you actually was whether Slythan has ever been to the ocean.
Right. I'd say probably no.
Probably no. Okay, cool. So there's a heavy river that
Mhm.
that would be the like saltwater sort of like there's a
Mhm.
that you'd be aware of. So it smells like that.
Okay.
You smell that it must be a distance away,
Mm-hmm.
but it is at least slightly lower than where you guys are at.
Okay. Adim, the waters below us.
Okay, well that's good. But
I don't know how that helps us, but it's good to know that he's not going to come down on us.
yes, but below us. Do I know anything about cave structures underwater in the area from when I was in Anoria?
Cave structures underwater.
Yeah, underwater cave structures that were mentioned. Because I mean,
Yeah, I think so. I think you'd have a basic knowledge of those.
where would there be, given where I am in North Imea, am I familiar with any underwater cave structures that might reach this far? I mean, I'm not asking like, do I have a map? But have I heard like, oh yes, the caves of so and so or the whatever? Have I heard of anything that might extend this far inland, underground, from anybody in Anoria?
We'll say this. Roll me a topography check. Roll me a.
I have expertise in that. No, I'm just kidding.
Let me look at your sheet real quick. Yeah, I think it's a survival check. I think
survival. Okay.
Yeah, it's more naturey sort of survival, but it's built in that same nature.
Massive 10.
Cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean it's certainly possible. The idea that the water is below you, and that I also like point of order. It's really freaking weird that people can smell salt water from like a distance away. Like Adim, you're so familiar with the smell of salt water, and you're kind of like even like pacing around and going like, how?
Yeah, I can't smell it.
Yeah.
But they also both turn into animals or close to it. So I'm like,
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can breathe it. You can smell it. I'm good.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to say. It could be that there is like some sort of water formation that has spilled into, like, you're in the mountainous sort of regions, right? But you guys aren't sure how far you've gone. You're not sure how low you are, right? There's a lot of factors that like you have no idea where you are, and it's dark, and the area that you're at is like 10 by 10 now at this point.
Now, one other question that's kind of metagaming.
Sure.
Because I don't want to go there if Adim has no clue. Jack knows about the Underdark.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we're pretty deep. Would Adim know about things like that to suggest that maybe he's smelling something that might be deeper than they want to go?
I would say no.
Okay, then I'm just going to go with, when he says that, I go with, well, I know there are some cave structures that might have water in them from the ocean, but I'm not sure where we are. But it's good to know that they're lower than us, because that means they're probably not affected by the tides given how low we are, and we should be okay.
Yep.
Is that a reasonable assumption, DM?
That's an absolutely reasonable assumption, yes.
Awesome. So Adim calms down considerably. Adim's like, okay.
Slagtan's getting into full-out panic mode. He doesn't like being underground like this.
I don't like it either, but at least I know that you won't drown.
Could dig
out. Or
out.
rather, I'm relatively certain.
We're going to keep thinking to the rock.
Have I sensed any kind of slope to the tunnel we're in, Joe?
No. As it was the effect of that spell, it was a well.
Must be
No,
an
it was
inverted
like
cone.
it was almost completely level.
Okay.
Panthera,
Yes.
you get a response back.
Oh.
Would this be from Kithro or Kathra?
I was contacting my mother, so it'd be Kathra.
Okay. Panthera? Honey, is that... Yeah, it's... Oh, I remember how these go. We are safe. You sound worried. We are in Hossamal. Do you think all that went?
My parents are safe. They're in Hossamal.
I'm glad they're safe, but that's not the best city for anybody, it seems.
Yeah.
It's better than where we
They're
are
safe
right
for
now.
at least.
True.
Yes.
And
Fairly safe. We aren't.
and now I have a raison d'etre. So we need to get out of here.
Can you
I
talk to
don't
old lady?
know what I
Thorang?
can. I mean, I have my wild shapes back, but I don't know what good that's going to do if we don't know which way we're going to go.
Does the sending ring have charges? Like you can only use it once a day or something?
It's out of charges. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure. And I take it off my finger and I give it back to Titian.
I think you see. Yeah, I think you see Tishian like, oh, I'm so happy you're. Oh, thank you for the ring. Thank you. Yeah, that's so great. Thank you. I'm so happy to hear.
Yeah. It's good to know that they're still alive and safe. And apparently, she was talking to someone else on the other side, so I imagine it was my father. So I think they're both safe for now. And but now I know where they are, and I know where I need to go to get them.
I'm happy you. I'm happy you can like kind of find peace with that for right now.
Yeah. I was definitely worried about them, but I feel much better now knowing that I've heard from them and they're safe for the time being. But as Adim said, Hossamal is not the best place for anyone, really, at this point. But first things first, let's get the fuck out of here, if we can.
Sure.
So, what are our options right now? I mean, do we have? We know there's salt water somewhere nearby. Maybe not nearby, but near enough that we can smell it.
Well, yeah, if you can smell it, you can't smell things through stone. At least not in my knowledge. So it seems if you can smell it, that the spell that the dwarf did to create this tunnel dislodged enough that air is getting through. dislodge something.
Okay.
So
there's-
towards the end, is there a possibility of moving rock? I have no idea what. I mean, I'm not sure what size the rocks are.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had to go to my phone. My computer's all jacked. I want to start feeling walls
Okay.
for
What are you looking
holes. For I already went through a
Air.
molten gold wall, so
Okay. Oh, okay. So you're feeling for what is Slagtan specifically feeling for? Obviously, there's
feeling for something that looks like it's there, but it's not really.
Okay. Cool.
Hmm.
So Slagtan, as you're doing that,
Can everybody else hear Slagtan? Because I can't.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Then
Just
I'm
jump back
going
out
to.
and jump back in.
Yep, that's what I'm going to do.
Heck is not with us today.
I know it's one of those nights. It's all good. We'll work with it. Slagtan, you are running your hands along. I would like you. I actually. So you guys are there for an extended period of time. So I'm going to say that you have advantage on this based on the idea of like the amount of time it would take for you to do this.
Okay.
But I'm questioning what kind of check this would be. I think it's investigation.
With advantage.
Yes, with advantage.
Okay. Wow. 7.
Cool. So we'll say. I mean, this is based on a time frame here. So I think you guys just see. You see Slagtan just again, like I'm trying to kind of like give the concept of like the mental state you all would be in right now.
Mhm.
It's you. I will say the response I'm getting is oddly relaxed for your space that you're in right now. But I'll say yes. I think in that moment, I think you see Slagtan doing something weird.
What are you looking for, Slagtan?
The water. You cannot smell water through stone.
Correct.
Maybe he's hiding.
Can I help him, but instead of just using my hands, use my blind sight to see if I can sense fissures or something that would allow something that my eyes can't see? So I'll literally start, now I push my hands against the wall, but close my eyes and just start feeling around both physically and with my blind sight.
Yeah, I'll allow it. So yeah, you also have advantage.
And I'm rolling again. Investigation, you said?
Yes, investigation with advantage.
– 11.
Where are the rest of you, John?
I think having gotten his ring back, but also tried to provide this moment of. I'm hearing what you're saying, Joe. I think in that moment that Titian he wanted to let Panthera speak to their parents because it was such a tense moment. Sort of try to cut through that. So I think after that, Titian is going to sort of stand up and join Adim and join Slagtan and just sort of getting to work to make progress in this space. So I think he's going to travel further down. I think he's going to really where, he's going to probably be looking higher up. I think he's going to be trying to look for loose rocks, look for loose anything that looks weak in this moment that he could maybe even bust his way through. He's really going to be looking to, if we can't find a hole, he's going to be looking to make a hole, because I think he's sort of determined we got to find a way forward, good or bad. We got to have an answer at this time.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so point of order here, I would say that it's been about maybe 10 minutes. Yeah, you do the same thing. I will say, based on what you're looking for, again, there is the like concept of time, but now you also have 3 people that are running their hands along the walls. So I think with the possible confusion of that, I think it's a straight roll for Titian.
What is it?
Investigation.
Investigation. 7.
Yeesh.
I was wanting to but emphasizing I think Adim and Slagton are being very cautious. I think Titian is actively more digging, more trying. He's willing to move things away to see. He's turning things over, that sort of thing.
Gotcha.
I realized with the 7 that might have negative things coming out of it, but I felt like that was
No, I appreciate that. I think it also there's a reality too that there's not really much to move here. It's not like this is in any way, shape, or form this was a naturally made, even in a man-made sort of way. It's a slow process, and therefore there's time for the environment to change based on this. This happened in an instant. So the loose rock that you're moving is small.
Okay. I think Titian will pull out his hand axe and start using it kind of like a makeshift shovel to move things out of the way as he's doing that.
What's Green doing?
To be honest, I'm at a loss of what to do. And there's a few things I can do. Can I knock on the end of the wall? Just because if it's a thin rock, it feels different than if it's thick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you knock on the wall. It feels just as thick as everything else around you. So say at this point, 30 minutes have passed.
At this point, guys, we're gonna get a long rest in here.
That's an interesting way to look at it, but yeah.
Right.
I'm just throwing this out here. I have a spell called Thunderwave that creates basically does thunder damage to and pushes stuff back. I don't know if I should cast it here or not. I don't know what effect it would have. I'm just throwing it out there that I do have this spell available.
Seems very dangerous, but it's good to know. I just don't think.
See, I have catapult, so I can smash into this pretty well. Because I'd have to upcast it, so that's my fear. That I would just smash it.
Joe, where we came from, was it a complete cave-in?
I could try to open going that way.
You had Krabmarai had placed a giant, you're not sure, but just a giant obstruction that completely blocked you in.
I wonder if that would be a better way to go, because we know there's room up there. I mean, things were falling from the sky.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, but I mean, things were falling from the sky, but if it stopped falling, we could get that boulder out of the way, maybe we can find a way up that way.
I can go take a look.
I'll go with you.
Same.
We're super confident that we're super confident that the water was below us, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take it.
Sorry.
Then Green's gonna use his packed weapon and turn it into a pickaxe and probably just start swinging at the wall.
Yeah. Hey, Panthera, can I ask you a question?
Okay.
You may. I don't know. I can't guarantee a good answer, but yeah, go ahead. Ask me a question.
I'll let Joe resolve Grant's thing first. Sorry, I jumped in.
Grian, roll me a d20, please.
I hate this.
You
That's a
gotta
nat
get
20.
Ah, yeah.
Ooh.
Look at that.
Love that. Cool.
That's clutch.
So we'll say you don't feel like there's any like sort of like give from something that's like kind of like pushing through, but you don't also hit anything that could be deadly poisonous for everyone in this area. So which is good. I like, for the record, I think you guys are doing this as time is passing. There is, to be clear here, just as a DM, there is an answer to this, but it's a pretty difficult one. So I'm giving kind of space to see if there's a creative sort of thing.
Joe, we're not smart.
I mean, hey Panthera, you turn into like other critters and stuff, right? Like you turn into like do you by any chance like turn into like any sort of like critter that can like burrow and dig, like one that's good at digging?
Oh, like a little worm or something?
I mean, badgers are pretty good at burrowing. I don't know.
I mean, is there like a version of a great big old badger that you can like bust on out and then like bust us on out? You know, that sort of thing.
Let me check.
That's what I was like.
Let me get it.
Secret tunnel.
It's like I wish I had like move earth, because then I would just like, but I don't.
Because you said not. I'm asking this to Tishy and Joe because like you said it was kind of loose gravel underneath of him, small gravel, right?
Yeah. I mean, what I'm saying is any loose gravel you're finding is small, is what I said.
Yeah. So I'm thinking here's the pieces I'm putting together are loose gravel underneath, so it's kind of structural, but it's movable at least a little bit. And then salt water underneath. We know that there's at least a level of like stone or gravel or whatever, and then water.
Mark, you're feeding back again, man.
Am I? Shit. Okay, let me log. Sorry about that. I'll try this.
Okay, so I thought like I could dig, but if the water's below us and it's not like a cavernous space, then I would bring the water up towards us. So it was like, oh, into the wall.
Okay, I mean, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I'd also imagine that it's like solid rock underneath us too. Like it's literally just a hole through this mountain. Like it's not like dirt traversed path. Like it's just a solid rock. 360.
Also, I'm wondering, was there any indication when we were in the Dwarven Ghost City, or I don't know how to describe it? Was there any indication of how they got their water? Was there any, like, was there a connection within the Dwarven City of where there may have been water that connected to them?
Possibly. You guys skipped a lot of floors to get to where you were going.
We did.
As characters, obviously. As players, you need to.
Sure. Was there anything that might strike us like, oh, wait a minute, that's how they... Cause, I mean, none of us are... I don't think any of us are from underground. So, that's okay. I just think...
Yeah, I think the answer to that's no. I don't think there's any, like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How... Do we have a sense of direction of where the salt water is?
You know,
from where we are right
on
now,
these, in the position of like right, like by the end, like the dead end. It felt like it was. I think with the nat 20, I think the only thing you knew was that it was below you. I will say, I will give you this, Lactan. It seemed like it was further in and below you. So it didn't seem like it, based on where you could smell, it could be directly under you. It could be all around you for all you know. but the area of where you were able to smell was further past the dead end and down was the direction.
Okay. Well, that's good. If you want, I can try to.
Oh, I have an idea.
I can dig.
Well,
I can burrow.
So I have an idea. To help with this direction, Titian's going to light a torch.
Okay.
And as he lights a torch, he's gonna look, because Adim has done a good job of identifying, like, smell doesn't travel through rocks. There has to be an airflow in here somehow. Also, we're still alive. Lighting a torch, he's gonna look for where the flame is leading him to get an idea of where the airflow is coming from.
There you go.
Okay.
I believe I saw this in Rambo: First Blood and or Indiana Jones.
That you believe Titian saw that?
Yeah, he saw
what?
It.
Who? What? Where? Who?
I think this is military training and Titian coming to light that, like, what to do, like how to navigate. This is navigation.
Okay. Grian. Roll me a history check. And we'll say to Titian, roll me an investigation check with advantage.
History 14.
Okay. What were you here for?
Motherfucker. God damn it. Okay.
I rolled a 16.
Okay. All right. So kind of Greedo probably like chuck his pickaxe to the ground, and it's a back weapon, so it just comes right back to him, out of frustration. And just in thinking of, like, you know, is he gonna make it out? You know, was all of this for nothing? He'll kind of reach down into his pouch and pull out the spyglass that he was looking at, and he'll kind of just like pull it out and extend it, and in his lament he will look over the words and runes that say stone window, and he is going to just try looking through it at the mountain.
Okay. Which direction?
Towards the wall that we I mean, he'll start off like towards right in front of him.
Which is
the wall that we hit the dead end at.
Okay, so the dead end wall.
Yeah.
There's a second of wondering, because I mean, there's no way to tell concept of time down here either. There's probably a second in wondering, both by yourself and also by the party around you, if Grian has lost it. Grian is taking out a spy, and Adim, I think you especially see this as you're so familiar with what a spyglass is. You see Grian take the spyglass, extend it out, and look at the wall. Adim, what is your reaction to that? What do you think? What do you think Adim's reaction to that is?
I think it's initial like okay, we're going insane in here. But then there is a quiet just watching him carefully, because Adim has wondered since he met Grian what he was looking for and why he wanted it. So he's like, okay, well, maybe there's something to it. So he's just quietly not really looking at anything more. I mean, watching him, but I want to see Grian's expression. Does he find something? Is something clicking? Like, because Adim's been curious, but because Grian's been helping us, he hasn't pushed.
We'll take it from Adim's perspective then. So, Adim, you're kind of watching Grian open like go and like look out this wall, and you hear an audible sigh at first.
From Grian or from something else?
From Grian.
Okay, I was like, oh god. What did you summon?
Everyone's naked. No. And I would also imagine too that like as Grian does this, it's kind of like when you take your phone to like a sky map and you're like, wow. You're like looking around at the constellations to like see what's around.
Yeah, I think Grian. Yeah, I think you're doing that like around. And this is where you're kind of like you let out the sigh of just like because you see rock wall, and then you center it, and I think the sigh is coming from you just like putting it to the end of the wall and just going like, come on, this has got to do something. Adim, from your perspective, you hear a gasp from Grian.
I move in a little closer without bothering him so I can hear if he's talking.
Okay. Grian, you see the wall and what's past it, almost in like a veil. You see there is what looks to be like an opening of light that is. As you are sitting in that position, you actually start to kind of like move it to the side. You can see that it's about 50 feet wide, and you see that there's sunlight pouring in. It looks like the ground that you're looking at looks to still be kind of like cave ground, but as you stay closer to it, you see the hint of sunlight hitting against the rocks. And you see what might be just some small amount of vegetation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like mouth of a cave, not like a cenote.
I don't know what you just said, but yes, mouth of a cave.
Cenote is like where it's got like the hole up top, and then like underneath it is the cave with like the pool of water. Anyways, okay, so like the mouth of a cave. I'm like, okay, cool.
I'm looking. I'm not ignoring you. I'm looking it up to see what you're talking about. No.
Okay.
It's the direction is that way.
Dead ahead.
No,
okay.
Not down. Yeah.
Okay, so Brian will kind of put the spyglass down. Guys, the exit is this way. I don't know how to tell you this, but the spyglass, this thing that I came in here for, let me see through the rock.
Well, that's
And
convenient.
what do you would think so? I mean, a bunch of dwarves, right? I guess
Yeah.
look through what they need to. But what I can see is it's this way, and I'll guess since Adim, I'm assuming, is like next to me, or at least within my vicinity, I will pass the spyglass to him, and so Adim can look for himself as well.
Titian, you immediately probably run into that direction with the torch.
Sure.
Okay. You kind of like go towards we'll say from the position that you're at, like kind of like the left southern sort of corner, and that's when you feel it. This like you actually see the torch go and push towards you.
Guys, my torch is helping over here. The torch, guys. The torch says air. I think. Yeah, I think after that, Tishian's gonna take his hand axe, and I know he was asking Panthera if he has a wild shape to help with this, but I think he's gonna first take a couple swings with his hand axe to see if he can open up this area to get more air going in.
Cool.
And since you gave me the spyglass, I know how to use them. I've never used a magical spyglass that looks through stone before, but can I use the spyglass to make a guess as to how far ahead I'm looking to find what he was seeing?
Yeah. I think you see it's probably up maybe. Well, I assume the question is how much do we need to get through to get?
Kind of, yeah. Like how far we have to get. Yeah. So like, how far am I? Because using the spyglass, I'm probably used to being in a crow's nest. Like, how far am I looking? I'm looking here now. I'm looking there. Trying to use it. How far am I looking?
Yeah. You see that it looks like if you were to start in the corner of where Tishian is at, it's about maybe 5 feet of rock.
Okay, I said if we start digging right here in this direction, and as I'm saying it, I close the spyglass gently and hand it back to Grant. I'm not trying to steal it.
Yeah.
And we have about 5. I'm not a thief. That was my last character. We only have to get to about 5 feet of rock if we go in this direction, from what I can tell.
I'm going to walk up to Tishian with an enormous hammer in my hand.
I was gonna be like, Slackton's giant hammer.
Look at you need the right tool for a job. And I'll kind of try to push it to the side and just freaking go ham on the wall with that Morden's hammer.
Well, I'm also wondering, and Joe, you can tell me if it would work or not, if I create some water and then shape it to push it through where the air is coming from, and then control it to shape it and freeze it, it'll expand. Will that help them?
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, I think also, I mean, obviously it'd be a matter of force, but just because I watched a video recently that was saying the sharpest tool that can cut through anything is water. I'll send you guys that video. It's crazy. But anyways,
yeah, no, it is. It is. High pressure
nuts.
water can cut through anything.
I don't think I have that much control, but I know that.
Yeah, I don't think you have that much control of water.
But you put a bottle of Coke in the freezer and it explodes. So,
Right.
I was just thinking, I know I can freeze water with my shape water. If I can push it and freeze it, it might help.
So
I can do it
here's
too.
I would say the reality is from a DM's perspective, it's just a matter of time. I think with Slackton coming up with the hammer, it's a matter of minutes at most.
Okay, then I'm gonna let Slagtime go ham. Step back.
You got it.
I'll save the water.
I think there's a part where you like create it and you just see Slackton's just and you see like rock falling all around. Slackton is clearly like, I'm ready to get out of here.
Yeah.
I feel like even like a demon is just like, okay, if you wait a second, no, I'm just gonna put the okay.
Yeah.
Like
I am feeling start casting a couple because I've got like a catapult and a freeze water, and I'm like, oh, I can. Okay, nope, never mind. I'll sit back here and knit.
I imagine Tishian's like a little kid helping his dad with a job by holding the flashlight, except he's holding a torch.
Yeah, that's 100%
like
it.
doing work.
Using the Phillips head there. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold it steady.
Slackton, roll me an athletics check with advantage.
And I will cast guidance, so you get a D4 to
Hey.
Okay, good.
You can do this. I have faith in you.
28.
Yeah.
Nice.
28. It takes probably about. I think it takes about maybe like 5 hits. So when I say minutes, I think I mean 2. where it's just like after that 5th hit, you can feel your arms kind of getting tired as you're hitting something that is not moving anywhere. But after that 5th hit, you can feel you start to feel yourself kind of moving through. With that 5th hit, you see everybody everybody kind of winces for a second as the light that they have seen for the past hour, we'll say for the short rest, has only been coming from the armor and from magical means. You see sunlight is actually shooting like a beam, to the opposite wall. As Slagton, you have pushed through.
Yay.
I think, at that point, as you see Slagton's catching his breath and all that, Adeem and Ianthe, you both kind of go in and try to use the freezing to kind of break that apart and move that down. And the 6-inch hole becomes 2 feet, becomes 3 feet, becomes 4 feet, and then finally, I'll say probably 4 feet. You could probably squeeze through. So 4 feet. As you all are I think there's a point of there's a silliness that kind of comes in of we made it, we're gonna be okay.
Giddiness.
Yeah. Okay. Who would like to roll arguably the most important D6 of this campaign?
I immediately
raise his hand.
I have inspiration, so if it's
You
bad,
don't know what the answer is. I mean, you could roll it and decide whether or not you want to change the roll, but you're not sure.
100%.
Ooh, do we get
a
it?
good number?
Is this what Ring of the Abyss we're in?
Do we get an inspiration and then it goes away at the end of the session if we don't use it?
It goes away after one in-game day.
Okay.
Maybe rolling for how many dragons attack us.
Do I want high or low on this, Joe, or does it matter?
You?
Dragons.
Yeah.
I think you want low. You want a 1.
I want a 1. All right, let's get this
1 dragon.
God, there's 6 of us and 6
The
dice.
best 6 sides on the die.
I'm gonna use my inspiration because I rolled a 6.
6.
I rolled
is pretty
high, so I
interesting
wanna
too.
I want to roll low, so I'm going to use my inspiration to roll low.
I roll. You should have told me I needed to roll high.
I love that you guys assume this is bad.
I know.
I just said important.
3. That was a 3. It was 3.
I'm gonna give you a choice.
Okay, we'll
Do you want 3 or 6? You know what? Here's what I will say.
6.
Yeah.
Here's what I will say. Because
Yeah.
you used your inspiration
Yeah.
for this,
Uh-huh.
I think I'm gonna tell you what your choices are.
Okay.
But you can't. Don't tell anybody.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I won't tell anybody.
Choose 3, my lord. Choose
That's
3.
Chelsea,
I'll
just go.
especially not. I will especially not
I
tell
will.
Chelsea.
Yeah, I know.
I will
Don't
especially
tell
say no, Chelsea.
Don't do
I know the password to your phone.
it.
Cut to Chelsea doing face unlock while I'm asleep.
3 a.m. Yeah.
Matt, you need to change the password on your phone.
Oh boy. Oh,
So
boy.
the left is 1, the right is 3. So you tell me left or right.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely left.
Okay. I figured.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm sorry. You rolled a 3 and a 6, right?
Roll a 3 and a 6. Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. I did tell you wanted a 1. That
Yeah.
was 1.
Okay. That's okay. I get it. That's the dice is telling a story.
The dice are telling us a story, 100%. Or
And it's a long story.
it's
Ah.
Hey.
Plug,
Yeah,
the,
guys,
plug,
folks, good
plug
night.
the campaign whenever you can.
Definitely left.
We've been New Moon.
Definitely left?
I believe the 3. Yeah, the left. Yeah.
Definitely 3. Definitely not 6.
Yeah, not the one on the. If it's the last message you sent me, not the one to the right, the one to the left.
You got it. Okay, cool. All right. You all bust through, and you hear the sound of moving water. I don't want to say rushing water, so to speak, but it definitely sounds like it's moving.
I deem his spirits immediately lift.
As you guys are kind of like pushing through, you see there is like the rock itself around here looks a little different. It's like a deep red. As you push your way through, actually I need a marching order here.
I'm usually.
Or you just tell me who's first.
Well, I would think either Slangtan or Titian are first doing the heavy lifting.
Titian will be first. Titian, I think Slagtan was clearing the door. Titian's going to go through the door.
Okay. Cool. Titian. This is interesting because your friends have told you that this is the way out. And you see like light coming through, but you see that it's darkened slightly by something. Actually, I gotta look up exactly how. Okay. But some of the light is blocked by. Okay, cool. By something that is that has hair, and you see it is easily 15 feet wide. It is. You see a body that is moving up and down as if it is breathing. As you see these like kind of like weird, almost like cheetah-like print spots on this beast. What do you turn around and say to the group before we go to break?
I turn around and I mean, does the creature look pained? Does it look like it's like having trouble breathing?
All you see is a massive mound of fur.
Sure. Titian turns around to the hole and he shouts up, "Come down carefully. I think we're sort of gonna have to make a new friend down here."
I immediately sigh and think of the owlbear.
I was like, if it's this damn owlbear.
Remember, guys, I said 15 feet wide. Did I make that clear? 15 feet wide.
Can I see anything from where I am?
Nope. You guys are gonna have because the way it's only 4 feet, so you guys have to the only way to know is to be the next person in line.
May I be the next person in line to see if I know what it is because I smell water?
Absolutely.
I will not fight.
Oh, that's the party. Can I see if I can tell what it is?
You absolutely can do that after break.
Okay.
It is 10:18 now, gang. I will see you back here at 10:28.
Right,
cool. See you soon.
All right, see y'all.
So, Adim, you are. So, Titian, do you think you went back in, or do you think you kind of are just like up against the wall to the side?
I think I was just the way I picture it is like Titian got down and just sort of leaned back in and like sort of talked into the direction of the hole. Like if Titian's 5 feet away from the hole, I'd be like, that's as far as he'd be.
What?
Titian's no more than 5 feet away from the hole, so I think he would literally like just turn around and talk right into it.
Right, but are you with the party or are you on the other side?
Oh, I'm on the other side.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
I'm on the other side of the hole. Yeah, I'm trying to say, yeah, if that makes sense. I would not go back in. I think Titian's gone through this hole. He's not going back in unless he just has to.
Okay. So, Adim, you peek your head through. Go ahead and roll me a perception check. Well, I mean, it's going to be very clear what you see. So, is there something specific you're trying to find out with this?
Well, since we smelled ocean water and it seems to be a living creature, I'm just wondering if I know what it is.
I would say, like, in the idea that if you're looking at something that is 15 feet wide, like I will tell you this, it's not facing you.
Do you recognize that butt?
Well, yeah, but
Do you recognize that butt?
But what I'm wondering if it's an aquatic creature, I've seen things from above, below, face on, backwards.
Sure.
So, I mean, if I don't recognize it, that's fine. But
Roll or recognize that butt.
Basically, yeah. Do you want to roll perception, investigation? What do you want to roll?
Perception.
Okay. That butt is unfamiliar to me. I do not know that butt. That is a 7. So
You got it. What you do see is like a hulking mass of fur in a very like kind of like wide sort of mound that you can see is moving up and down as if it is breathing.
okay, but to me it sounds like a seal or a giant seal or a giant sea lion.
More fur than that.
Oh.
Can I do as we're looking at this, can Titian do like a check to see if like he can tell it's sleeping or
facing its butt?
Yeah. I think Titian looks at a lot of butts that are sleeping, and I think he
I'm gonna put my foot down.
I'm
gonna put my foot down on figuring out whether something is sleeping by staring at its butt. That's my.
Well, I mean, like I think
you'll have to go around.
I think listening for snoring, I think, is a way, like something like that, or like that.
So here is what you hear. I think with that sound, I'll say roll me a perception check with that sound. And Adim, you can as well, as you're right there.
I only hear the music, so I'm not sure I'm hearing, but I will roll. Perception.
It was just a really quick, like...
Yeah. I rolled a 23.
And I rolled a 19.
Okay. We'll try it again. Is that better? Same?
Mm-hmm. I can hear it fine.
I got nothing.
Okay. So I'll say with the who rolled a team rolled a 19, Titian rolled a 23. Is that right?
23, yeah.
Correct.
Cool. Adim, you hear the sound of something breathing. It sounds odd to you, and I think you can't really like quite pick it up. It sounds, I think with a 19, you can tell that it sounds bestial. Yeah, but I think other than that, you're not really sure. There's something that sounds strange even by its breathing. Titian, you hear that the breathing sounds strange because it sounds like it's almost coming from multiple throats. Does that make sense?
Yes. Okay. All right.
I will wiggle back away from the beast, back into the cave.
Dean, do you want me to go check it out? I'll go check it out. You want me to go?
Please wait.
I mean, okay.
I'll be right back. I'm trying to speak very lowly and calmly. So I wiggle my way back to the rest of the party. I'm like, so there's a 15-foot wide, slowly breathing beast on the other side of the hole. Titian's already in the room. I'm gonna go in there so he's not alone. Do as you will, but I think it's best we stick together. And then I go back to where Titian is, and I will completely extricate myself from the tunnel that was created and stand near Titian.
When you go back, Titian, did you move?
Did I move?
I'm giving you the opportunity here.
Yeah.
You did see a Deem go.
But you also heard me say, "Hold on a second," and I wasn't gone long.
I think
right.
He's not gone long. I think Titian is slowly creeping a little bit. Not in the sense that he's going full on forward, but I think he's like slowly testing the boundary of this a little bit. Like he's waiting for a Deem for sure, but he's absolutely like edging a little bit that way, just to try to keep an eye on it.
Yep. Cool. Okay. Yeah, Adim, you see, you definitely see Titian kind of creeping up on this thing. Titian, you see something that looks, especially for Titian, it's something that is very familiar. There were parts of even like the back, like I think even as characters, you're not sure if you're in the back end of this beast or not, but I think you like as players, I'm telling you are. One thing that you do see is that's very interesting is a almost like there's another piece of fur that's almost like protruding out of it, and it's about the protruding piece itself is about 5 feet around. As you like kind of like creep closer to it, you see what is undoubtedly, as you probably have these on your feet, pads.
Okay. Like feline pads?
Like a leathery sort of skin,
Okay. All right. Titian just sort of looks at the pads. Again, he's not going too far because he's kind of waiting for a Deem a little bit. And I'm being very, very quiet, just very edge forward, not too far, but seeing the pads, Titian's just gonna lock it in. Okay, that looks like it has some feet on it. Good that it has feet on it, I guess. Yes.
As you get closer to it, you still kind of hear the breathing. You hear the breathing being very like exasperated, but then also alive too. It also sounds like, and they're disjointed. It's like almost as if maybe if you were to go past this creature, you would find multiple other ones.
Yeah, I was going to ask, are there multiple creatures? It doesn't seem like it's breathing more than one breathing, but you just answered.
Right.
So I'm going to hop out of this hole into the larger space that Titian is also in. Is there water in this space, or is the water beyond this space?
The water's beyond this space.
Okay. I get Titian's attention so he can see that I am indeed in the room. I told them what was going on. Hopefully they follow us. Can I spot a way past the large 15-foot butt to get out?
Yeah, I'd say as you like kind of climb yourself out, you see that like kind of like you have to kind of like press yourself up against the wall to not touch this thing. Um, from your direction of it, I'll say on the closer side. On the farther side, you might have a little more room. You're not sure, but on the side that's closest to you, yeah, you can see, and you can actually see. Like I think it's almost like mirage-y like from the amount of light that is emanating from this spot. Like as the sun is probably most likely fully beating down on it, and you haven't seen the sun in a very long time. You see like some sort of essence of blue that is moving, but it's so like it's just bathed in so much light that's so like that is so outside of what you remember light looking like. I think even that you it takes a while. It takes a minute to kind of just even get in focus. What is
The
the rest of
essence
you
of
guys?
blue, like, is this essence of blue around the creature, or is it the creature, or is it?
No. It's further down, right?
Got it.
It's just
Okay,
the
I
idea
was
that it's
confused.
so yeah.
Got it.
It's
Okay,
so
thank you.
it's, yeah.
I want to slowly just. I'm not going to speak. I use my hands to point to me.
Yeah.
And then I point where the other side is to see if we can make it around that side without touching the creature more easily. But I want to move as little as I can. Like, I'm not trying to, like, rush, move faster. So me is going this way type thing. And just far enough to see if I can see, can we make it around? Because I'm having an idea, but...
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, you go. That's you. This is me, and we're gonna go right there together, right? That's what. Yeah.
I need to teach this man how to be quiet. Okay.
What are the rest of you guys doing?
And yeah, I want to say, what did they do after I said that? I think we should play together.
I'm going to go out next because he said, first of all, I see sunlight, and I haven't seen sunlight in a while, and I'm looking forward to seeing the sun and feeling the sun on my face. So I go out of the cave, and I take it I see this huge creature.
Roll me a nature or animal handling check. Your choice.
Okay. Let's see. Let's roll animal handling. It's higher. 26.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually rolled well. I got a 19 plus 7.
With a 26, you see the markings on the fur, even in this like kind of like darkened area, because it's so much lighter than what you've probably seen in a while. Looking at the markings, I'd say with the 26, you definitely see the pads there. You're not entirely sure what this creature is from the vantage point of where you're at, but it definitely seems canine in nature.
Okay. I see Titian and Adim kind of going along around to see if they can see the front, or it appears that they're trying to see the front of the creature. I will do the same very slowly and stealthily if possible.
Okay. We'll say this. Are the rest of you guys coming up? You're
Yes.
muted, Anthony.
You're muted.
Oop. After Panthera scrambles out, I would probably say to myself, like I'm going off on my own. Of course I'm coming. And I'll scramble through. And I want to, as I hopefully catch Adim and Titian getting ready to like sneak off.
Mark, can you go to push to talk for me? Because it's freaking out again.
Oh, damn it. Okay, yeah, hang on.
I would say telepathically to, I'll ask Adim. Do you want to be invisible? I can make that happen. For both of you.
And assuming I can respond, I think that might be a good idea, but please warn Tishian first because that could get really ugly really fast.
Okay, so then I'll tell Tishian, don't move yet. I'm going to make you two invisible. I need you to stand next to each other. I actually don't think you actually have to, but I'm gonna
But
move you.
as before, like as I think that to her, I kind of look over at Tishian to see if there's like a spark of understanding, like if she's contacting him, and assuming there's anything on his face, I grab his hand so I know where he is.
Okay. I don't know if that translates to Tishian, but
I don't know, but if he wants to pull away, he can. Maybe he just thinks we're best buds now.
Honestly, I think Tishian takes his hand. He's like, I mean, fuck yeah, I'll hold your hand, sure.
Perfect. As long as I know where he is, I'm good.
Boy, this ain't. I mean, just two best friends holding hands, looking at big creatures. What are you doing on a Thursday night?
Perfect.
okay, cool. Go ahead.
Hold still. This might be a little cold at first. And I will cast, using my very last spell slot, invisibility. And for the first time, I'm going to make it a twin spell.
Okay.
I believe I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And it costs 2 points.
That's
So
awesome.
now both. Where's the repoint? Okay. So they are now invisible. For I don't know how long. An hour.
All right. With that invisibility, because I think at this point I gotta move you guys along. You guys, I'll say you, Adim and Tishian, you start to kind of move towards you move past this creature and therefore can see kind of the front of it. You see what seems at first to be 3 very large dogs resting on top of each other. After about like a solid 2 seconds, you recognize that these 3 dogs are connected at the neck.
So 1 body, 3 heads, or 1 head, 3 bodies? Because that's different.
No, I said there's 3 dogs connected at the neck, which is
okay.
Yeah.
It's a Cerberus.
So Cerberus.
It's fluffy.
You see, one of the heads is not moving at all. You see, like most of the fur up front is darker than the back. You see it like kind of like moves into this almost like, I say cheetah print, but it's really like this very like almost more like a jaguar type of like, and it's very faded. Almost has kind of like a brindle look, honestly. But the front faces of this creature is almost like jet black as far as the faces look. One of them does not seem to be breathing. The other 2 are barely breathing. It does look to be in pain.
Do I see any indication of like blood leading into the cave or out from the cave, like injury from it?
Yeah, I think you see there's like some sort of dragging blood that has come up to this point from an area that is again like the sunlight that's blasted like behind you. So you kind of have to investigate to see where that goes. And you see that there is blood out of the mouth of the mouth is not moving.
I feel bad for it.
Yeah, it's not a lot of blood, and so you surmise that most likely you assume that one of the heads is no longer alive, and I think with that I think you specifically, Adim, kind of get the idea, or actually both of you get the idea that most likely whatever has hurt this creature was more of a bludgeoning effect than like slash. You don't see any like slash marks or anything like that.
I think in seeing that, I think Titian, any nervousness that was in Titian's body, like going invisible, doing this moment, I think leaves him, and like he's just overwhelmed with like empathy, and he just sort of starts walking. I think he lets go of Atim's hand and starts walking towards the heads.
Okay.
Adim is like.
You just see footprints in the sand walking towards the heads right now.
Roll me a dexterity saving throw.
As he does this, I'm moving quickly towards the entrance of the cave.
Okay.
That's a dirty 20.
Okay. Dirty 20. You see a very weak eye from one of the heads that are still breathing, like kind of opens up, and you see it is like, it's literally like a depiction of fire in its eye. You see like the bright orange, sort of red. You see it like kind of like just looks at you from one side, and you can see like with immense amount of energy that this thing barely has, it takes up its head as fast as it can and throws its head into you to try to bite into you. With a nat 20, you move out of the way. You're able to kind of like duck out of the way, in wondering how in the world this creature knew you were there.
Is it? I want to make sure I heard you right, Joe. Is only one of the heads alive right now, or is it?
You only see one that's not moving. I'm saying one of the heads attacked you.
I got you. One of the heads attacked me. Okay. But it's just the head. The paws did not move in that attack at all. Like it didn't try to stand up. It was more of like
I'll be honest. I think you're overthinking it. Okay. The body that is very much in pain was using a last ditch effort to attack you.
Okay. All right. I think Titian, in realizing that, will just oh no! Hey, shh. Hey, stop it. Hey.
Are you gonna stay there?
I think he'll stay there for just a second. Yeah.
Okay. So you duck out of the way. Okay. So you duck out of the way and try to kind of put your hand out to try to relax this very big creature.
Yeah, I know.
Is going to go to try to attack you again. Give me a dex save.
Okay, that was a natural 1.
Ooh.
Okay. It's a good thing I rolled what I rolled.
For a total of 3.
Total of 3?
Yeah.
Okay. You take 17 points of fire damage.
Mm-hmm.
And 5 points of piercing damage.
All right.
You are. Which invisibility spell did you cast, Ianthe?
Just regular.
Just regular invisibility. I think it's a little shenanigans, but I think it makes.
I will say in that moment, if Adim is watching, although if I'm cutting you off, Drew, let me know.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I need to check something real quick. Yeah, no, I think this works. Adim, you see Titian goes from not being able to be seen to fully able to be seen.
Okay.
And is in the jaw of a Cerberus. What you also see is that head that has Titian in it right now. You see a look of Adim, what is a creature that you've seen pass?
All kinds. I mean,
Just give me one. Just
shark,
give me one.
dolphin,
Okay.
seals, sea lions.
Okay. Yeah, and most of those eyes are very black, right? So it's kind of like hard to see any sort of like sort of recollection. But you do see like most likely it kind of like starts to roll back maybe. You see that this head is about to die with Titian in it.
I do not want to hurt it.
I'm gonna assume Finn is here, but the rest of you haven't told me you guys have gone out yet.
So I will cry out, it's very hurt, because I don't know what they want to do about it, but I want to save Titian, and I think it should be in range. I create water in its mouth and around its nose. Try to make
He's
it
not
come off.
invisible anymore.
I just spin him out.
So your invisibility drops in that from casting that spell.
Yep.
But you see that as the nostrils kind of fill, and I think that works. I think Titian, you feel this like as you get spit out, and as the scene sort of settles, you see that head just goes to sleep.
Oh, I didn't want to hurt it.
You see Titian fall out of the mouth and just fall lifeless onto the ground. But then instantly cough and get restored back to 1 HP.
Okay. Didn't you take a short rest?
Yes. I had so little health, like dice left.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So I was at 16 health points when when that attack happens.
Cool.
But I'm using my my boon to get back up to 1 health point right now. So yeah.
Love it.
All right.
Did the rest of you guys come out? You guys could jump in at any time.
Yeah.
I did, yeah.
I was planning. I was trying. Yeah, I was going to be coming out.
Do I see? So because I'm out there, I guess I didn't pick up on like how far back we are. Like, can we see, this thing snatch Titian? Do we see Adim lose his invisibility?
So I think with like if you're just coming out and staying there at the entrance of where this hole that you made,
yeah, I would have cast it and then been like, whoa.
Okay, I think you hear what's going on, but you're behind this creature that is. I think you might even seen like the front of it move. The back of it is not moving.
Okay. Did I hear Adim say it was really hurt?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
you hear
I'll start heading.
for sure.
I'll start heading over then.
Yeah.
Because that makes me mad.
Can I, as a druid, tell that it's injured by looking at it?
I would say if you move to the front
Can
of
I
it,
make it?
absolutely.
I don't think you need to be a druid. To
All
tell.
right.
No, you don't need to be a druid.
Can I, when I see it attack Titian for the first time, and I could tell it's severely injured, can I run up and try to heal it?
This is in reaction.
Is it something?
This is in reaction to Titian.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if
Okay.
I can rush up and cast a cure wounds on it or something to restore hit points to it, maybe prevent it from dying. I don't know if I can. I don't know if cure wounds will work on this beast. If it's a
Roll me a medicine check.
okay, I can do that. Medicine. 14.
14. With a 14, you see that you may be whatever has hurt it is internal and probably beyond your healing capabilities. Actually, I mean, let's look at this numbers wise. What's the highest amount of health that you could heal?
12.
Yeah, no way.
Okay.
And you know that with the
Well,
medicine.
yeah, okay. Oh gosh.
I think hearing
this is
I think hearing stuff happen, Green would rush out of the hole and run to the front. And then he would obviously, I would see Titian laying on the floor, and I'll go ahead and run over and cast a Cure Wounds on him to bring him back up.
While they're doing this, I can't heal.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know.
I can't either.
So I'm not going to go out of the cave and expose myself, but I'm kind of just looking around the cave. Can I get an indication of what might have hit something like this to kill it? Just to watch for it to come in the cave if it's hunting it.
Right. And I want to make sure that I'm depicting this as best I can. It's kind of like if you were to imagine what a cave looks like on a beach, right? So I think about how the sun would be kind of shining into it in a way. That's about the level of light that you have right now. So looking outside of that, it's heavy sunlight, right? Which I'd say at this point you probably have probably started to kind of get accustomed to a little bit. I'd say peeking your head out of the cave would clearly give you would make sense to be able to put yourself in that to be able to kind of find where this all you have to do is follow the trail of blood.
Right, okay, so then for now I will stay in the cave and not poke my head out, but I want to get closer to the edge of the cave while they're doing what they're doing, just to stand guard and listen, because whatever hit it sounds big, so I'm hoping I would hear it coming.
Sure. Roll me a perception check.
Okay. I got all my good rolls last meeting. 8.
Okay. You hear the sound of just running water.
Still standing there with I'm at the ready. Because if the thing's dead, I'm letting them deal with it. I'm just going to watch to make sure we're not going to be attacked.
Okay, cool. What's Slagtan doing?
My essence was I'm taking in all this. This thing obviously looks like it's on death's door to me. I mean, obviously I'm trying not to be meta-y here.
No, you're not being meta at all. I'd say it makes sense for Slagtan to be able to understand this. We'll say for the sake of argument, it's a low DC, But go ahead and roll me a nature check.
Sure. 16.
You know what's best for this creature.
I'm going to put it
Nothing
down.
you can do.
Yeah, I was going to put it down. Is what I was holding to do.
Not to be graphic, but just tell me how you do it.
I'm just going to try to put my hammer right between his eyes and be as quick as I.
Okay. I think like some of you see where Slagtan's kind of putting that, and I think it expended a lot of energy to be able to even attack Titian, and that's what not putting it on Titian, but that's for everybody else. Like that's what was like it was losing that energy, and it was trying to kind of be territorial in that moment.
I mean,
that's what it would do.
That's what Titian was walking up to try to do, just that, put it out of its misery.
Cool.
Trying to calm it down to do it, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, and that makes sense, especially like on Titian's side. There was a level of like, this is a like in Slagtan, you're able. Slagtan, there's gotta be some sort of like. This has to affect you in a personal way, I think. This is a very dangerous and wild beast.
Mm-hmm.
You know that you're making the right decision for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what have you? Yeah, I think as you lift the hammer, whoever would want to look away would.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I think it's. I mean, there's sadness, but there's also respect.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Adim just kind of closes his eyes when he hears the final hit. Like, yeah, sad, but yeah. And I'm still watching because something hit it.
It's to quote somebody: "Nature is violent."
Right. I think in this moment, Adim, you do hear something.
I try to get there. I take a rock and I throw it behind me so they see me, and I say, and I draw my bow. And what am I hearing?
You hear it's very like kind of like off in the distance. You hear a.
So if I'm reading it correctly, would Adim assume that sounds like a cough?
It sounds like a cough, like a hack.
Okay.
Aww.
Is there movement beyond that, like heavy footsteps?
You don't hear any heavy footsteps.
I will quietly back up, but relatively quickly. I hear something hacking outside the cave. I don't know what it is, but something hit this creature. And I'm guessing the creature attacked it, so it might be something wounded on the other side. It might be whatever attacked it. I don't know. And then I move forward to see what it is.
Okay.
And I'm not moving quickly, I'm moving slowly. If they want to stop me, if they want to come with me, they have a chance.
You got it.
I would like to come with him.
Sure, absolutely, that makes sense. So Adim and Slagtan kind of like start to like kind of move out into the bright sunlight, and as your eyes adjust, you can see there's a blip of something. Matt, what color is this thing?
I think it's a. You know what? I think it's white with a little bit of tan in certain features, but like mostly just white.
Okay, so like a blondish white.
Kind of like that. Yeah, kind of like a yeah, we'll say that.
Okay, cool. There's no I can't think of any way to be able to kind of like lead into this description past the description that you already had with the Cerberus. You see a tiny figure in the distance. Quadrupedal. You see there's a I think you see there's a level of fur to it. It's hard to tell from the distance here. It looks like it's probably maybe about 100 feet away. And it is hacking to the ground right next to this very large, right next to this smaller area of what looks to be a very large, I guess you could call it a lake, tributary essentially. I think. I don't know water words, but yeah, you see it's basically like kind of like on the opposite side of the bank of this. And as your eyes are adjusting to the light, you see 3 heads.
It's a baby.
Oh
But it's only a Deem and Slagtan saying this right now, right?
Yes.
It's on the other side of the lake.
You see, there's an area to like get around it. It is circular, so there's like it's not blocked off by water, but it's kind of on the opposite side of the bank of this.
But if we were going to go directly, we'd have to go through water.
No, you can, like I said, you can kind of go around.
Well, yeah, no, we can go around. But if I wanted to do a beeline, it would be through water.
If you want, the fastest you can get to it, yes, would be through water.
Heck yes. A Deem just Slagtan, you see.
Come on, dive.
Just grin, and he stops himself. You think he's about to dive in to get to the thing, and he stops himself, and then looks for the trail of blood. Where is it coming from? That's more important than his desire to get in the water.
Yeah, I love it. You see the trail of blood actually is moving past the area, like around the bank where you would be, and you see there is another like cave that is about. See, it's kind of like, so it's out and to your left. So it'd be it's over to your left, probably about maybe like 80 feet away.
I'm kind of hoping that Echo of the Cave gets me. There may need to be healing out here, or there may need to be violence. And I smile at Slagtand, and I dive in the water, and I know joy. And Slagtand, you have never seen somebody so happy to be wet.
Awesome, I love it. Are you moving towards this creature, or are you just like, okay, all right, you got it.
Full speed, trident out, like I'm finally in my element. Bring it. Like, I want to see something mess with me right now.
I love it. I hope I'm not ruining this moment. Does the Deem have a swim speed?
It's 30. It's the same as my same as my land speed, so I could probably. I'm assuming I could sprint if I had to.
Yeah, I think what's impressive, Slagtan, is seeing a Deem go the speed of a full-out sprint in the water. You cut across. I think it would take you less than 6 seconds to get to the other side.
Nice. And I don't want to go all the way to it. I want to be in the water and then because I'm underwater the entire time.
Okay.
Because I can. And I just bring my eyes up, but keep everything else below since I don't need to breathe.
Rambo style.
Exactly. And just like, I want to get a lay because I figure with my coloration, maybe I won't. I want to be relatively sneaky. I don't think things are expecting things to come from the water like this. And I just want to get a lay of what's going on with the creature. What is it sick? Was it also hurt? It's got 3 heads that can breathe fire, so I'm not gonna be like, hey puppy.
Right. There's do you so So you're trying to be stealthy in this moment. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check, because you also had to kind of get into the water for this, and you. Yeah.
Sure. I probably wasn't being stealthy getting in. I probably just didn't.
I mean, if you say that, there's no reason for the roll. I was just trying to see if it would recognize that there was a sound.
Right. I'll roll because I'm aquatic and dived. I've done this in the water before. I've divvied.
Yep.
So maybe I've a greatly gained dive this time. Who knows? Not with a 4.
Cool. Yeah, with a 4, you cannonball into the water.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, joy. I think there's no better way to put it.
It's like water. It's wet.
Yeah. It's cold and amazing. Yeah, you kind of come up out of the water and you see this. I will roll a perception check with advantage. It knows something happened, and nope.
Yes.
It is looking around. Desperately, you see it kind of is doing the dog pounce on the bank sort of thing, where it's like trying to figure out where it is. You see one of the heads is still hacking, and I think from that you recognize that it most likely swallowed ocean water. So
I've seen this before from my crewmates.
yes, yeah. So 2 are looking out. One is preoccupied. But you see, it is maybe. It's about the size of a. It is very much a baby. There's no roll that needs to tell you that it is that. Like everything about it is like telling you that it is an infantile time, and you know how big the parent was. So even as a little baby, I'd say it's about Labrador size.
Okay, I will slowly dip my head back underwater, get back to where Slag Tent is.
Cool.
And report it's a baby. It's coughing because it seems to have drunk some salt water, didn't like it. It might be in danger, but now we know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I am still grinning from ear to ear. Like I'm saying it with this smile, like I just saw the best thing. Like someone just gave me Disneyland. Like, so
what do we do?
It might be a little scary to see it being that happy.
Probably. And I'm like, I get no rip about. I mean, and I was swimming in my full leather armor with no problem.
Cool.
My hair is just sopping wet. I don't care. It's like in my eyes. It's just what you do when you get out of the water.
Got it. What are the rest of you guys doing in this scene? So there's been some. There's been a lot of role play by a couple people. I want to hear what the rest of you guys are doing here.
I will step aside.
And that is not that you did great. There's no thing on that at all. Yeah, what are the rest of you guys doing?
Well, I was one of the ones who turned my head when the killing blow was delivered to the creature. I'm kind of upset that I wasn't able to get there in time to help it out.
I'm sorry. Your medicine check.
Yeah. It was a
Say it.
It was a 14. You said
it was a 14. That's right. It was a 14. I thought it was a 16. Okay. Right.
Yeah. No. You said there was nothing I could do. So, so yeah. I see those 2 run off, and one of you came back and said there's something out there, right? And then went back out. Okay. After we'll have to come back to this because we need to do something to honor its memory. But right now, I'm going to follow those 2 out and see what's going on with the creature. I'm just walking slowly. I'm not running or anything, but I'm just going out and seeing what is out there and see if I can find out what killed this creature.
You got as Panthera comes out, the baby Cerberus was looking for something and does see two figures across the bank. And you just hear
Are the two figures he sees across the bank Slagtan and Adim?
Slagtan, I think, is still in the water.
Okay.
Okay, cool. It is going to. You immediately hear it starting to bark, and like kind of like stands its ground while it is. What did I say? 100 feet away.
Yeah.
While it is pretty far away, and you see I think Panthera, from your instance, you see like as quick as a match going out, you see like just like little blips of like flame around this creature.
Oh, okay. And
you hear high pitch puppy barks.
And it appears to be coming from the creature. It doesn't appear to be harming the creature. Yes.
No. Yeah. It's coming from the creature.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, full disclosure, it's coughing fire.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Okay. I'm going to give it a wide berth because it's a puppy, but it's still
it's
wild.
100 feet away.
Yeah.
I'm watching that bloody trail to the cave while Puppy is barking to see if anything's going to come out.
Yeah, cool. You don't see anything come out, and I will say this as a DM. I'm just going to tell you that medicine check was good. It wasn't great.
Yeah. I rolled a 10 out of 20, so it was an average one. So yeah.
Can I try to get my bearings on where the heck we are in relationship, which would be, I guess, survival, to where we were?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a survival check.
You said we all could
12.
hear the puppy barking?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I'm going running towards the puppy.
Okay.
Puppy.
Okay, you see Ianthe just book it out of the cave towards the puppy.
I literally think you see Ianthe and Titian running the exact same way.
Okay,
Yeah.
I love it.
The two idiots who pet the owl bear, yeah, we're running towards the puppy.
You got it. You see, I want to be clear on this. It is still like the size of a full-size lab, being a puppy.
It's a wild beast. Remember that. It's a wild beast. Do not engage.
I'm going with them. I don't want to go with them, but I'm going to lag behind them.
I laugh underwater with the do not engage.
Titian's gonna like, as he's sprinting past Panthera, he's just gonna go, puppy, and that's it. He's just gonna keep running.
Okay. And then Panthera is going to sprint past both of them. Using her...
With the tabaxi stuff?
Yeah, with the tabaxi stuff.
Okay.
And go, no, not a puppy. And...
Nope. Titian's gonna juke and go right past you. Puppy.
Okay.
And just keep going.
There is no going past me. I'm running twice as fast as you are right now.
Running fast doesn't mean you can't block. You can't move around someone or like push even.
Well,
through
that's
them,
true,
right? And Titian is much bigger than you.
Yeah.
So if Titian wanted to, we could contest this as an athletics check. It's up to you.
It's Titian's going to puppy. I mean,
You
Titian.
got it.
I think Titian, and I'm assuming maybe Ianthe's in this moment too. And Titian just saw the puppy's mother die, and you didn't confirm male or female. That's a mom pup. That's a mama dog that just that Slagtan just put down. This puppy is weak and defenseless, and also puppy. So now Titian is running towards this puppy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I am too.
And you shouldn't because it'll kill you. Yes.
I won't.
Yes, it will.
What is Grian doing?
As the only person,
I would be honest, guys. Like some of you, I'm pulling teeth tonight. I don't know where you guys are at, but get in. Get it. There's water. The water's fine. Get in.
I literally, it's joyous.
No, as the only player left in the cave, I want to look and see if I can see any injuries on the adult Cerberus.
Okay, cool. I'll say with giving you like the space that you need and fully knowing that it's passed on, go ahead and roll me a medicine check with advantage.
It's 16.
Okay. Yeah, DC was 15. You see some small, not small at all, actually, some massive sort of like indentations around the back side of this creature, like closer to the spine. You see that most likely the cave in possibly was.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, even though I don't know.
It was a demon. A demon killed the puppy.
Yeah.
So then walking out of the cave and see the blood trail leads from one cave entrance to this guy. So I would probably surmise that it happened in there and then kind of limped its way out into where it is now.
You got it.
And seeing everybody just sprint for their life. What am I seeing around me? Is it just like an opening with water? Is it like the ocean is to my like in front of me, and then like the cave is?
Yeah, it's essentially like you guys are in like a valley. It's an area between the mountains. I'm sorry, I think Slagtan even asked, like trying to get an idea of where.
Yeah, I did not roll well. It was
okay.
12.
Gotcha.
It was a 12. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great.
Okay, yeah. 12's not horrible. You surmise that you are deep within the mountains.
Okay.
With a 12. So yeah, so I'd say it's the same thing. You don't see the ocean. You see there's a couple of like mountains that are kind of like in your way, Grian.
Mm-hmm.
But I think seeing a Deem's reaction, eventually learning that it's seawater, you get the idea that you're probably not far from the ocean.
Okay. And kind of seeing everybody run towards the puppy, I'm gonna make my way towards the other cave opening. To see if we can get back into the mountain, because we need to go back.
And actually, when I see that Panthera joins the other two, since she is a nature-y person, I will back off and I will go with Gran to check it out.
Okay, cool. So both of you guys go there. Cool. All right. Titian,
Puppy.
Ianthe, and Panthera, all roll me initiative, please.
Oh my Lord.
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
And there's only 3 of you, so go ahead and just shout it out.
No, I said 17. I got 17.
17.
18.
7.
7. Okay, cool. So Panthera, you're first. You see this puppy's kind of like and now at this point has moved closer and is barking, like you can hear is trying to sound more ferocious in its bark. And you see the like of fire just shooting out. I think you can see it clearly doesn't seem to have control over that.
Yeah. Okay. How close am I to the water?
I'd say probably like 20 feet, 10 feet.
Okay. Am I still ahead of the other two?
Yeah, I would say you're ahead of the other two, facing the other two.
Okay. I am going to use a bonus action to wild shape into a giant octopus.
Okay. Cool. Terrifying.
And if anybody tries to run past me to get to the puppy, I'm going to grapple them.
Okay. Cool. Interesting. Ooh, I love that. Very cool. Titian, it's your turn.
Okay. Titian's going to puppy. There's no big like strategy here. Yeah, Titian's making his way towards the puppy.
Cool. You got it. So say athletics check against athletics or so it's an athletics attack. Essentially, you're like shoving the octopus aside, like moving it away around, right?
Yeah,
So
just trying to like jump in, like yeah.
You got it. Yeah. So athletics against athletics.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
So you have a +3 to your athletics.
Yeah, I rolled. Did it not come through?
I don't see you got to tell me. I don't really look at the screen very much. I got to wait for each other's stuff.
Yeah, I got a 16.
16. Okay, cool. Yeah, Titian, you're able to like kind of like maneuver through, like just pushing past these like tentacles that are desperately trying to kind of push you away. I will say you are about 40 feet from the puppy.
Okay.
So you push through. I assume move your full 35 feet.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Cool. So you're 10 feet away from the puppy as far as the idea of like if we were to imagine a map.
Oh yeah.
And how far? And how far away is he from me?
I would say to push to get to you, we'll say was 15 and 20. So I'll say he's 20 feet away from you.
All right, cool.
Did that athletics check use my action, or can I bonus action?
That would have been your action.
That was
my
my
action.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second dash. Okay.
Cool. Ianthe, you're up.
I'm just gonna stop in front of the octopus, put my hands on my hips, and say, "I'm not an idiot. I can see the thing breathing fire, but I can also see its dead parent over there. It's a baby and it's helpless. Maybe you could try to help it instead of yelling at us."
It's not helpful. Well, I can't talk.
An octopus.
I can't talk as an octopus. So yeah.
That's right. You can't talk as an octopus.
Yeah.
Okay. It is now the puppy's turn. As the puppy rolled really
Please
low.
check.
Can I add that Titian's going? As the closer Titian's getting, you're just gonna hear a.
Okay. Runs right past. Go ahead, Green. What do you want to do?
Can I interrupt? And as Slagtan and I are walking towards this cave entrance and seeing the confuckery happening to, I'm assuming, like the right of us, I would like to go ahead and cast Earthbind on the puppy to create kind of like a chain in the ground so he can't run directly at Titian and bite his face off. And kind of leash him.
How close do you need to be for that?
300 feet.
You son of a bitch.
You just got to beat a
smugly.
Save. It's a strength save of 15.
you want the puppy to make a strength saving throw? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's choose one creature you can see within range.
That's what you're telling me.
Succeed on a
To
strength
make a
saving
strength
throw.
saving throw as a puppy.
Yes.
This
It's a
puppy
big
just
puppy.
lost its mother.
That's what you're making me do.
Yeah.
I'm putting an X card for like attacking the puppy right now. How dare you?
What's the DC?
I'm not
again?
strength save of 15.
15. Okay, cool. So it's got to roll a 14.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Brandon. This is awesome.
Yeah.
This is awesome. This is awesome.
I like it.
Nat 20.
Hey.
I'm not fucking kidding you. Nat 20. So you cast it. That was a really good idea, and you can cast it again at this point. Like I get where you're getting at, but
I
I
only
also
get
really
that was
wanted
a
to-
No.
second level, so that's it for me.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. That was also a really that was a great idea. It also was going to keep me from being able to do something really cool. So the puppy is going to push past Titian, and actually doesn't have to even like get within reach of Titian. It's going to go and attack the biggest threat, which would be the
octopus.
So it is going to bound up and go to attack. Go to attack Panthera.
Okay.
Okay.
If it,
That is a 15 to hit.
Ooh.
That hits my armor
Joe-
class of 11.
Joe, can I
Okay.
ask? Does it pass Titian? Does Titian get like an opportunity?
That's
to,
what I was
like-
saying. It doesn't even come within
Okay.
your space.
Okay.
Cool. So you take. Okay. You take 4 points of fire damage
Okay.
and 1 point of piercing damage,
All right.
and I need you to make. What would we call this on this? I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
It's a poison puppy.
Great. I love this thing.
14.
Just needs a little bit of training.
I forgot to roll a DC, so I'll roll a DC for this. Okay. All right. You all see something very strange happen. You see Panthera's wild shape drop.
Oh,
What?
Panthera's wild shape disappears
oh,
as I imagine just like a piece of the tentacle is like in his mouth and just like wriggling it in his mouth. Panthera, I need you to roll me a let's see, what would that be? An Arcana check?
Okay.
Oh, magic bite.
yeah.
I kind of hinted at it.
I think it can dispel.
Yeah.
That is a 4.
Okay. With a 4, you have no clue what just happened. Something just broke something that is not concentration in your view. You see it's still attacking what it thinks is the octopus there, so that's the end of its turn. But you have just had your wild shape dropped from this creature. I will say, actually, Titian can also roll me a Arcana check on this.
Just in case, can I see what's going on from the lake and make a roll?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it. Yeah, you were right there too during that, so yeah, you can.
I rolled a nat 20.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is-
Oh,
I'll roll around me too.
cool. I think in the phrasing of like the paladin sort ofness of Titian, Titian, you're very good at being able to see things. Well, sorry, I don't want class. How do I put this? Class-wise, Titian is very good at being able to see things behind what they try to hide. Right, so you have you have like the divinity things. This seemed something like that, and you remember that you were attacked by something while you were invisible, and it saw you. It had its eye open and was looking at you. There is something that is able to, with both these Cerberus dogs, that is able to see beyond versions of themselves to what they're. You rolled a nat 20, so I'll just tell you mechanically what it is. To see what their true selves are.
So is it
affect those?
Oh, true sight.
True sight.
Yeah.
It's essentially true sight, but beefed up a little because it just dropped the
This thing is really cool.
the fakeness of, not that the wild shape is fake, but like it dropped the disguise of what wild shape does.
That's
They had to bite it to do it, but yeah.
I love this animal so much.
I think with a nat 20, you see like this is extremely useful.
This is going to be the best steed a paladin could ever want.
Oh my goodness.
This is going to be Joe. You broke the game.
It is not a steed. It is a wild animal.
Let's just go ahead and switch to Let's just go ahead and switch to Pathfinder right now because I've already won D&D.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What is the matter with you people? What is the matter with you people? These are wild animals. You just can't go up and go, "Oh, puppy." No, you can't.
I'll say
we're all wild animals. Don't speak to my son that way.
Panther, it is your turn if you would like to secede to understand that whatever is going to happen is going to happen.
I don't know what's happening. I don't know how my wild shape dropped. I don't know how.
Right.
I'm trying to figure this out. This is a dangerous creature. It just dropped my wild shape, just like that.
Right.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Call lightning. Sorry.
I'm not sure what the hell is going on, but yeah, this creature is dangerous, and we need to give it a wide berth.
Well,
and
yeah, what would you like to do on your turn?
Did I take any damage?
Yes, you took 4 points of fire damage and then 1 point of piercing damage.
Okay, was that my octopus shape or was that my?
That would have been your octopus shape. Yeah.
Okay, so when it dropped my octopus shape, I didn't take any damage.
Correct.
Okay, well that's all I needed to know. I have no spells to cast of any note, so I mean I really can't do anything. I tell you what, as a bonus action, I will cast Shillelagh on my quarterstaff.
Cool, makes sense.
For Tish.
Go ahead. What? Someone said what?
I was making a smart aleck comment. Sorry.
Oh, for Titian. Got it. Okay, now I get it.
I got that comment, and Chris, you're 100% correct. Yes.
Cool. All right. Assuming that ends Panthera's turn.
It does, and I will defend myself if necessary.
You got it. Titian, it is your turn.
Titian comes
I believe,
running.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Titian will come running up to the. I imagine like it was shaking a tentacle, and now it might be playing with like Pantera's tail or something like that. And I imagine Titian's just gonna like go right up behind the puppy and just like bend down, and you're gonna see him swoop it up and pick it up like this. And I think you're just gonna see him go, "Oh, pup," and he's just gonna be the happiest he's ever been in his life right now, this moment.
I'm just like dealing with animals on a day-to-day basis. I'm like, that's not a great idea. But
yeah,
cool.
there's so much like I fully get.
That is how Matt used to handle our dog.
Right, like I get the character 100%. I get it.
Right.
There's just no
Y'all,
like
you can't.
I'm ready for animal handling checks. I'm ready for animal handling checks. I don't know if I can have you roll for an animal handling check if you just pick up the wild puppy.
How about this? I'll pick it up. I'll pick up the wild puppy, and while I'm at it, I'm gonna feed it some of my rations. Like I'm gonna try to give it some. I'm gonna try to pick it up and like with one of the heads. I'm gonna try to give it like some rations in one head. Maybe try to split it up between the three of them.
So here's how this is gonna go. Because it is a Cerberus, which means that it has 3 different heads, which means it has 3 different abilities of thought. Please roll me 3 animal handling checks.
Oh boy. You didn't say there's going to be consequences, Joe. You didn't say this.
You're right. You're right.
But Panthera did. Panthera said there were going to be consequences. Several times.
The vet tech that in me is like, please don't do this. But
Please don't do this. Please stop. Please don't do this.
All right,
See, Adim has learned to let Titian. And so Adim is watching going, yep.
I tried to help.
I know, because Slack's just like, do I want to help or do I want to watch? I think I'm going to let him watch right now.
All right, I rolled 3 checks, Joe. I just want to let you know that the highest one was an 8.
Yeah, Titian's in a litter box of his own creation right now.
Just to let you know, that's Panthera's lowest possible roll on an animal handling check.
I mean, that's fine, but you're the how high is that animal handling check when you're casting Shillelagh against it? I'm hugging this thing right now.
I didn't say I was casting Shillelagh against it. I'm just casting Shillelagh to use against boneheaded maneuvers.
You gotta start bonding at some point. I mean, what's animal handling if not handling animals? I don't understand.
So the highest was an 8.
Yeah. There was no nat ones. The lowest was a 4.
Okay, the highest was an 8, the lowest was a 4. It does surprise, it doesn't seem to love that. I'll say it's gonna take its reaction to viscerally hate that. Ianthe, it is your turn, and then it's Grian's turn technically. And
how far am I from this mess, by the way?
I'd say you're about, because you went to this about 30 feet, we'll say.
All right, I would like to get in on this if I can.
Sure. We'll say that you're after Chelsea more, but before Grant.
May I ask you a question really quick?
Yeah.
I would like to be underwater.
You're the smart one.
Angle where I can see what's happening.
Okay.
Like through the surface, just floating and enjoying the water and watching around me, so I'm not going to get eaten, but I can see what's going on with them.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, Ianthe, it's your turn.
I'm going to telepathically talk to the puppy and just say, "Shh, it's all right. We're not here to hurt you. It's all right."
Does anybody have speak with animals?
Nope. If I did, I would have done it, but nope.
What are you using to?
I'm using telepathy.
Telepathy? Okay.
I'm using what I have.
That's your feature. Okay, there it is. Sorry. I was trying to find it. You can speak telepathy to creatures. It knows that language.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I'm just trying to use soothing tones.
You know what? I'll allow it, as it doesn't need to know what you're saying to get the vibe of it, right?
Everything's fine.
Dogs,
we're very
dogs don't know what we're
nice.
saying.
We just want to help you.
I'm going to say this because I assume Titian is still holding it.
Yeah.
Roll me 3 athletics checks, all with disadvantage.
Athletics?
I'm sorry, animal handling.
Okay. 3 with disadvantage.
Yep.
Okay. I have a line of dice, so here we go. We're just gonna grab them and go. I have a +1 to animal handling. First one's a 7.
Okay.
I like where this is going.
Ooh, second one's a 17.
Okay.
I rolled 2 16s. The second one is also a 7.
Okay. Cool. I will say the one that has the little piece of, I think it's just like octopus skin. Like it's not even like, because it can't be like a limb. Like there's nothing, there's we still gotta stay in some sort of confines of D&D in this. You see in a very puppy way, while Titian has it, the puppy drops the skin out of its mouth and is just staring down at it.
Yes, very good.
That was the 17.
I know.
Yeah.
I
The
know.
other two are still wildly trying to bite. And, Okay, cool. It's your turn. And then
Secretly,
I
I'm
am
surprised one
going-
of them
To jog over to Titian, I am going to shift.
Okay.
And I'm going to trying to bark him down to shut up. Not Titian, the Cerberus puppy.
Oh, okay.
So close.
Oh my god, I love this. Yes.
Oh, hi, your
I
uncle's
don't
come to
necessarily
say-
want him for a pet, but I want him to calm down.
Right.
To alpha these guys into submission.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, show me
Uh,
You're
I
going
mean,
to
that makes
see, you're
complete
going to see,
sense.
you're
Yeah,
going
absolutely.
to
I
see
think it
Milan
does
on
make
this
a lot of sense.
situation.
It makes a lot more sense than it makes a lot more sense to work than, once again, I fully know Matt is just going full character.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
My character ran through an octopus to get to this puppy. Did you not think it was gonna pick it up? Think he was gonna stop 5 feet away and be like, "It's nice to meet you, sir. It's nice to make your acquaintance."
Yeah, that's true. Slackton, roll me an animal handling check with advantage as you've shifted for this.
Hey.
I'm sorry, excuse me. Roll me 3.
First one's 12.
Okay.
Second one is 23.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
This is going to be my pet, Matt. And the last one is 18.
You see. It's so funny imagining it as Titian is holding it up. You see it fully kind of go limp, and you see the tail. It does have only one tail, guys. The tail goes also kind of just falls limp. As you see eyes just kind of look up at you, in full submission.
There we go.
We can still be in initiative if you want, but we don't need to be.
I'm good.
Slagtan, what do you... It seems to understand you as the boss. What do you tell it to do? Or tell Titian to do, or whatever.
Put him down.
Oh, you want me to? Fine. Titian will just lower the puppy to the ground.
And to
You
aggravate
just put it to the ground.
And then to aggravate Pantera, I'm going to give him some ration.
Okay.
Who doesn't want a Cerberus puppy?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You do realize it is a meat eater. It's carnivorous. Your rations are not.
Well,
You do see it sniff out of your hand. I guess I always assumed rations were some sort of meat, but
I always figured it was some kind of jerky.
Also, like
Yeah.
we're hard.
I always thought it was like a protein bar. It's kind of
it can include
kind of
jerky.
first order
It's a
like
Cliff Bar.
protein bar.
I mean, as long as it doesn't have
Bar
as long
and
as it
a-
doesn't
and
have
a meat
chocolate, it's fine. We just need to avoid chocolate.
Or grape. Dogs can
yeah.
have grapes.
Or grapes. They
Yes,
can have
of
grapes.
course. Of course. Don't trust the druid who knows animals. But yeah, go ahead. Feed it what you want. Go ahead. Kill it. That'll solve our problems. Good job.
So
I
you
want to
see-
take a moment and say I
Yeah.
appreciate that the cat is really angry that we might have a dog.
Yes. I love that. I love that.
It is not a dog. It may look like a dog.
Three
It
dogs.
may...
It's kind of 3 dogs, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not a dog. Okay, it's a
We
wild
gotta-
beast.
So you see the dog like is. So as you put it down, Slacktan, it does seem to. It takes the rations. It seems to regard you as a boss, so to speak. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Grian. I assume you're still where you and Slacktan were, like in checking the cave, right?
Yeah, I kind of just cast Earthbind, didn't work, and I kept going. I mean, I can hear what's happening, but like,
Right. You hear something. I think like you're probably like turned around to fully survey this scene, and you hear something in the sound of I'm trying to think of like what to even like kind of remind it. You just hear like very fast paced like crunching sounds, like rock crunching sounds. So you just kind of hear like in the like the rhythm of like and it's
like
getting
something's
bigger.
chewing on something, or like walking on something.
It's more like it's you'll find out. You'll
Okay.
there's no good way for me to describe this in my head of what it is because anyways, you see a hole kind of bust out to the side. And you see a I think in the way that we'll end this session here, you see one like you see one familiar spider-like leg step out, and you see like the sun gleaming off of its gold frame as reinforcements have arrived. Thanks to Slacktan. And with that, we will end tonight's session.